Afternoon, everyone. My team and I are going to present you the different information processing models that we know, and we are going to do that through several ads characterizing each model. So let's begin with the cognitive information processing. The first ad we chose to illustrate this model is l'Odyssée de Cartier. Let's see it.
Cartier.
So to briefly explain the ad, it has been created for the 165th anniversary of Cartier, and it tells the history of the brand. So you can see the different travels of the founders in order to find new ideas for the creation of the brand. We can also recognize the iconic products of Cartier, such as jewelry and watches. And finally, through this ad, we are following the Panthère, which is the emblem of Cartier. So now let's analyze the cognitive information processing of l'Odyssée de Cartier. First, keep in mind that the objective of this ad was to tell a story that makes consumers dream. So regarding this, we can highlight two key elements. First, the differentiation of Cartier through this ad, because there is no slogan or specific products. The ad is dedicated to the brand itself. And then, thanks to the differentiation, Cartier deeply reinforces its history, prestige, and values. So to continue, we can perceive through this ad an attitude sequence, which defines how viewers are influenced by the ad regarding their behaviors or feelings. So the attitude sequence of l'Odyssée de Cartier is the following: affective, conative, and cognitive. So let me detail you that. The first step is affective or feel because of the epic and sensual musics used in the ad. The music is strongly present from the beginning of the ad until the end. However, it takes a bit of time to understand the core of the ad. Therefore, the viewers refer first to the music and feel different emotions thanks to it. This is the psychological appeals, which can be in this case associated with wonder and excitement. The second step is conative or do. It refers to the fact that people are going to act after having seen this ad. So, for instance, consumer who didn't know the brand before can then visit the website. And for the current customers of Cartier, they can accelerate a purchase decision, which was in their minds for a while, because buying a luxury product takes time. And the third and last step is cognitive or learn. Indeed, the objective of this ad is definitely to create attention and awareness about Cartier. So the ad provides information regarding the brand to finally allow people to learn and understand the features and benefits of Cartier. So depending on the level of knowledge and beliefs of the viewers about Cartier products, this ad can lead to a purchase intention for new and existing customers. So also, due to the effectiveness of the ad, it can reassure clients that they are right to be Cartier clients. And finally, we can say that this ad was a success because 3 months after its launch, there were 160 million unique viewers worldwide, 1 billion display impressions, 42 awards worldwide, hundreds of complimentary press coverage, and plus 50% more fans on Facebook in 2 weeks. So now I'm going to let my colleague Hilda explain you the cognitive information processing through another ad.
Well, the next ad that we decide to analyze through the cognitive information process is the one of Mercedes-Benz, called the King of the City. And well,
Mood-changing technology at the touch of one button.
Let it be your night. Wait a minute, gonna kiss yourself. Put some lemon in it, you're so high. Yeah, better than that. Had a good life that you would never forget. And feel so fine, I like your style. The time is right, like it and I'm alone up.
This ad was launched in the year 2017, and out of the content that is shown in the ad, we can say that the intended interpretation was that only the kings of the jungle have this product because only the kings of the jungle have these hard dates in their routine, and they have this time of relaxation in their cars. And maybe one of the actual possible interpretation for the consumer is if you feel like the king of the jungle and you need to relax from your daily routine, you need this product. Can you change the slide? Analyzing this ad by the rational processing orientation, we can see a lot of common scenarios in the daily life of a successful businessman. They use the metaphor of the lion as a symbol of power, as the alpha of the community. And this we can say that this was used to make the consumer accept the fact that these daily scenarios in the day of a businessman goes with the logic of having a Mercedes and needing a relaxation moment. Also, we can see the mood changing feature of the car, and they focus a lot in this. We can see it in the mood changes through the ad, from a really angry lion to a more relaxed one once he pushed the button of the mood changing. The music changes from a really rhythmical, stressful music to a more relaxed and dance style genre. Also, they show an image of a massage to show the relaxation that the car can give to the consumer, and also the colors and the light in the ad changes. So they show focus in the benefit that this car have for the kings of the jungle, or the really powerful men. And also we can see a comparison with other products in the moment that the lion in the traffic looks at the other driver, and the other driver is not a lion, and he's really stressed and angry in the middle of the traffic, yelling. And also at the end, we can see the slogan of intelligent driving, and the attitude sequence in the ad. We can say that it starts with a cognitive attitude, because they first show all the attitude and the normal attitudes of a businessman, then affective with the lion metaphor, because it's quite funny, and then cognitive, giving us the information about the car features. And that's all.
So moving on to the hedonic experiential model. This model is related about how it engages different senses, and also how it's the communications are fun. They relate to fantasy or feelings. Also, they have to relate some of your pleasurable feelings, but mostly in this type of communications, emotions override the rationality of consumers. So here, the first ad we decided to show is the Courbatan of Louis Vuitton.
I go to loud places to search for someone to be quiet with, who will take me home. Didn't I take you to higher places you can't reach without me? Reach without me. My journey, my perfume, Louis Vuitton.
So here in this video, we can see first it's Emma Stone. She's having this emotional and powerful journey throughout the whole video. So we begin seeing Emma Stone at her home, and she's experiencing different kinds of emotions. So it's all related about the spirit of travel, and how can one find itself traveling around different parts of the world. Also, it portrays different kinds of French landscapes, that can be also related to the French know-how of how they make the perfumes. And taking into account the name of the perfume, it's cœur battant, that means beating heart in French. So it's how a beating heart and a heart that's alive, experiences different kinds of emotions throughout the whole journey. And it's how also analyzing the music of the video. It's called Loud Places by Jamie XX. And the video begins with the part that says, I go to loud places to find someone. And in the end, we can see Emma Stone arriving to Paris, and throughout her whole journey, it's just herself. So maybe the person that she's trying to find, it's herself. And here we try to find a quote, I mean, that can, from the literature, that can be related to this video, that says cues that are frequently associated with a cultural group will be more strongly linked with knowledge of that group, and thus will be more likely to activate cultural models associated with that group. That's why we said that when we see the different Paris or French landscapes, like the south of France, or some like campy area, or and also it ends in Paris and in the Louvre in Paris, then everyone that watches the video can begin associating those French areas with the brand and their expertise in making perfumes. Moving on, we can see the lifestyle and also the roles she has. That it's a lifestyle of a young person that wants to experience the world and want to understand her emotions by traveling. That's what tell us all about the brand identity of how Louis Vuitton is all about the journey, about the travel, and it also connects all our senses because we see beautiful colors, hear an amazing song, and in the end we can see how she arrives to this area full of flowers, and how she says my journey, my perfume, because it's her individual journey. It's her getting to know herself and her emotions. And since it's a perfume that it's a purchase that it's not very conspicuous but mostly personal or personalized luxury, we try to link it with this quote that says, hedonic messages appeals increase the perceived luxuriousness of a product, thereby increasing consumers' attitudes, and WTV, that means willingness to buy it, especially when their approach to luxury is internalized. This means that all these hedonic elements are potentialized because it's a purchase that is luxury just for yourself, because you're the only one that's gonna know that your perfume is Louis Vuitton, but the other people are just gonna know that you smell really well.
Moving on, we have like a Tiffany & Co. ad, so we're gonna watch it first.
Moon river, wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream.
I ain't window shopping today. How you feeling? Berg in the building. Tiffany girls with the all gold feeling. Gold plain Jane, I'ma stack it to the ceiling. Only do it for the children, teach you how to make a million. Ayy, Tiffany for the breakfast. OJ with a plate for the necklace. Make a heart Moon River wrist, T-squared ring. Room full of gliss. Ooh, give me kiss in the pool full of Chris. Canary on a finger, don't drool on my drip. How you feeling? I'm feeling great. Got L on the block on the crate. I tell them bring all my jewels to the PJ. Believe in love and your dreams will come easy.
My huckleberry friend, moon, rivers, and me.
Okay, so the first thing we can analyze from here is the whole Tiffany universe that is seen by the constant use of their color in landscapes around Manhattan. Then we have the American approach of luxury because it is like a more relaxed and fun perspective of luxury versus the European perspective that is more posh. Then we have, of course, the factors of colors and happiness that is basically letting the customers know that Tiffany will bring and fill your life with both color and happiness. Then we have the girl that is part of the ad, and it's basically targeting the younger people through the dream, aspirational, and fun factor, and letting them know that someday you can have like an amazing life with Tiffany. Then we have this quote that says, hedonic values are the most influential in nurturing the relationship between consumers and a luxury brand in terms of involvement, consumer brand interaction, and behavioral intention, letting us like see how Tiffany is going to achieve all those things by using these kind of advertisements. Another factor that we saw there was the factor of daydreaming. That is how they are appealing to younger generations, trying to create an emotional bond. If you realized they were using black and white colors, as well as playing at the same time soft tones for the daydreaming moments. And then when they changed to the funny moments of the ad, like they were listening to the rap part of the music and creating like a joyful arousal. Then we have the factor of the lifestyle, that is a young, crazy, independent woman dreaming about her life and with big aspirations. And finally, we of course have the brand DNA, because cultural values of Tiffany are be bold, create, dream, win with passion, that are completely aligned to what the ad is showing us. Then another quote we found was, consumers who have value expressive rather than social adjustive attitudes towards luxury consumption respond with greater purchase intentions when brands do not use attribute based. So in this case, since it's a hedonic advertisement, of course they are appealing to more like not to the attribute based, but the value that is behind the brand, and that will benefit as well the perception of the brand.
Okay, so as an elaboration likelihood model, we wanted to put like videos like from Mexican brands, as I'm Mexican. Okay, so first explain a bit about this elaboration likelihood model. It talks about two routes that it can happen, like central route, and peripheral route. The central route is when you deep process the information. The peripheral route is when you like just superficially process the information. But even though your advertisement is good, that's why we chose the Mexican brands, like global brands. If you don't have like the motivation, the ability to listen, the interest, well, even though you have like the target audience, like the right target audience, the message is gonna be lost. So
devotion to save humanity. But the end of civilization is upon us. Hold your loved ones close.
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. It's now.
Okay, so we saw that, in the video they are talking about tomorrow is overrated, which is like we often think about like what is going to happen, and like as some people might take tequila as something like something like just to drink. In Mexico, we drink it with family and with friends. So like it's all about like enjoying your last days or enjoying your days with friends. And well, like that's the effectiveness that might go with the Mexican culture. However, if foreigners are watching this video, uh, there are some symbols that they could not understand. Example, at first of the video, it appears like a famous character, Mexican character that is really known in all Latin America. But I think that in European countries it's not that famous. And also the song is related to like the mood of the video of the advertisement. However, if you don't know Elvis Presley and the story that goes beyond this song, which is like one of the most famous for Elvis Presley, well, the message could be lost. This video, Hornitos Tequila, which is a short video, it's going to talk about like the two messages, the two routes that we have, the central and the peripheral route.
Tequila shots, please.
Which tequila?
Doesn't matter. Any tequila. Doesn't matter. Any haircut. It doesn't matter. Any tattoo. It doesn't matter. Any place.
Maybe we should order Hornitos tequila.
You know what? Make it Hornitos.
100% pure agave tequila. Hornitos, not just any tequila.
Talks more about like you shouldn't choose a tequila with a peripheral route, but with a central route. Like you should know which tequila you're going to take, and they are trying to change consumers' attitude from a low elaboration to a high elaboration.
So continue with the persuasive communication models like ELM. We would like to present other approaches to persuasive communication through targeting the emotions. So first of all, we have to define what is an emotion, and that is like an automatic and quick response to sensory information that have an impact on memory and shapes your behavior or consumer's behavior. So we have several studies that demonstrate that emotions are major factors in persuasive advertising. Both negative and positive emotions could be used. So, for example, Gingold arguments that fear arousing communications could shift attitudes or behavior, and positive emotions like enthusiasm, amusement, or attachment love tend to facilitate greater acceptance of weak persuasive messages. Model for persuasive communication. So the mindset model is a model in development by Salgado Montejo, is really recent, and he proposes 4 mindsets, which are the lens through which consumers see the world, and could be used in persuasive communication because they change the way we give value to things. So these 4 mindsets are action-reaction, which is more instinctive and set in the present. The reflexive one is introvertive and set in the past. Judgment and moral is social and is related with moral. And the forecasting is related with memory and is set in the future. So we think that the mindsets that could be used in persuasive communications are judgment and moral, forecasting, and reflexive because of the emotions that they use. So we can see here that the reflexive one that triggers emotions like hope, elevation, nostalgia, sadness, grief, guilt, shame, loneliness, and compassion. Judgment and moral triggers emotion like elevation, contempt, disgust, scorn, anger, hate, guilt, shame, and compassion. And finally, the forecasting one, next please, triggers emotions like curiosity, gratitude, hope, fear, loneliness, shame, anger, hate, guilt, grief, and sadness. So
you three recent theories. The first one is going to be the perceptions of luxury fashion brands in social media marketing that is found in the literature as SMM. This theory tells us that there are 5 main components that brands should have for increasing brand value and brand equity in social media terms. So first one is going to be entertainment, second one customization, third one interaction, fourth one word of mouth, and fifth one trendiness. Now this will cause as well a positive impact on purchase intention and customer equity. One of the factors we think is the most challenging one for brands nowadays is the customization part of the communication in social media. So for example, some of these strategies that we can find here in this part are like the strategies used for Instagram. For example, when we talk about Audi, the brand for cars, they have one page for Italy, so Audi Italy, Audi Colombia, Audi UK, while on the other hand, we have, for example, Cartier, that they only have one page on Instagram worldwide. The next theory we have, thank you. The next theory is going to be the CLT plus the psychological distance. So whenever we talk about CLT, we're talking about control level theory that describes basically how individuals interpret distant objects. And when we talk about psychological distance, something they have in mind all the time is that the psychological distance is egocentric. So its reference point is the self in the here and now, and the different ways in which an object might be far from that reference point, meaning in time terms, space, social distance, and hypothetically. So when products are characterized with intrinsically concrete and observable attributes, consumers feel psychologically proximity. While, for example, in the luxury cases, they will feel more like a longer psychological distance. Now, the quote we have here says consumers feel more positive when marketers use high-level advertising stimuli for distant purchasing decisions. Here we can relate it with the hedonic kind of advertisements, because that will increase the psychological distance and like the exclusiveness and uniqueness factors of luxury. And the last one that we have is the CLT plus the cultural context. In this case, we have like a study that is based on the selection criteria for evaluating luxury brands in different kind of markets. So the first one is considered in the individualistic markets, that the selection criteria is way more complex, while on the collectivist markets is simplest. For example, in the individualistic markets, we have USA, United Kingdom, and Australia, and in the collectivistic, we have China, Mexico, Colombia, and India. So for example, while Indian consumers consider only symbolic and expressive values plus cost and sacrifices values, a British consumer will consider self-directed symbolic and expressive values, other directed symbolic and expressive values, utilitarian and functional values, and cost sacrifice values. So it's a whole complex behavior and way of processing the information depending on which market they belong to. So that's it for this part. Thank you for your attention, and now we'll continue with the second part of our presentation.